Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another beautiful evening with us on Live with Lloyd. I am your host, astronumerologist Lloyd Strayhorn. Thank you for joining the Live with Lloyd family this evening. Um, Here it is. It's amazing. This month is practically over. This is like, well, I shouldn't say it's crazy. It's not crazy. It's just that it's just interesting how time goes by. Okay. First of all, let me get this straight. There we go. Hi, everybody. Thank you for joining me this evening. Okay. Um, a couple of things. I want to thank the group that joined us yesterday for my first power series on cycles. That was a lot of fun. There were a lot of questions. I hope everybody found it informative. Later on, for those that may have missed it, we're going to make probably it's just something touring with maybe a tape available for those that were not able to make it. But anyway, I want to thank you for joining us. And before we do, let me tell you who's joining us too. Our sponsors, U Juice. Okay, it is a very new sponsor. They are out of Trinidad, Tobago. These are wonderful products. I've tasted them in the first stages when I went there about 2019, I think, when I had my first experience with them. In fact, one day I'll show you the original bottles that I had, but it is absolutely sugar free. It's got a tremendous amount of energy. It is no GMOs, no preservatives, things of that nature. Also, I want to thank Nicholas Brooklyn, who will, believe it or not, celebrate not 50 years, but they're entering their 51st year in business at 1396 Fulton Street in Brooklyn. They're going to have a big event, a health event coming up on the 9th. I think it's the 8th and the 9th, but the 9th is going to be the real big one. So that's the one you want to be in attendance with. Also, Jazz Aphrodite is going to be having a workshop coming up on the end of this month on the 28th. So please make sure you sign up. There is a phone number at the bottom of the flyer there. You can see. And for those who want to sharpen their writing skills, for those who say, well, I want to write that book or whatever the case is, she will teach you how to do just that. Also, I want to thank Miss Kimberly for Manifest on Purpose, one of our other sponsors who does this on a regular. And thank her very much for doing that. And before we start this conversation, okay, I want to let you know the cosmic forecast is, first of all, please like, share, and subscribe. I'm getting a little better at this after going into my third year. This is Wednesday, January the 22nd. In fact, this is Sam Cooke's birthday, for those who understand that. But anyway, the sun is in Aquarius. The moon is in Scorpio. It's a 1 universal month, a 5 universal week, a 5 universal day. So if you happen to be a Gemini or Virgo, or if you're born on the 5th, the 14th, or the 23rd of the month, well, this should be to some degree a good time for you. All right. I was talking about on Monday, because there's a big thing that's happening in the heavens, okay? And it is this, that starting yesterday and even today, 6 planets are now in alignment. And those planets being Venus, the planet of love; Mars, the planet of war or energy; Jupiter, the planet of good luck; Saturn, the planet of father time; Neptune, the father of dreams; and Uranus, the planet of kind of, shall we say, revolution. Okay. And it's so interesting because these it's rare to have all these planets in alignment. There are 6 of them in alignment, as you can see, with the Earth to the far left. And what is happening is that a lot of these planets can actually be seen with the naked eye from here on Earth. Okay, for those that's got telescopes, binoculars and whatnot, I guess you can see them, but they're going to stay this way until mid-February of next month. Then, believe it or not, on the 28th of the month, another planet will join these 6, and that will be Mercury. So it'll be Saturn and Mercury and Neptune and Venus, Uranus, Jupiter, and Mars. They will be, so it's like kind of, I think they would call it like a stellium in astrology, when all the planets are positioned in one sign. So it's going to be a very, very interesting phenomenon for those that are used to the heavens. Now, it's interesting. They don't talk about Pluto. And in fact, in 2000, hold on, let me say this. In 2006, the International Astronomical Union, the IAU, in 2006 decided that Pluto wasn't a planet. Okay. Now, let me tell you this. We are mortal men, okay? And women, of course, can't leave you out. I don't know how or what took them on it. Supposedly there are certain criterias that makes for a planet, and that all of a sudden, as long as Pluto's been evolving around this solar system of ours, that only in 2006 they decided, whoever these people were at the International Astronomical Union, excuse me, is that Pluto was no longer a planet. Yet Pluto has always been around. Pluto, in fact, will be going retrograde on May 4th of this year. Okay, and it's going to be going Pluto retrograde all the way to October 13th of this year. Pluto, just in November of last month, no, 2 months ago, now we're in January, on November the 19th, went into into Aquarius. Now, Pluto is a planet of transformation. Pluto transforms anything where it makes its presence felt. Okay? And when it makes its presence felt, that's what it means, transformation. Everything is transformed. There are all kind of changes. And the fact that it went into Aquarius, and which is ruled by Uranus, which is a revolutionary planet. So you have a transformational planet going into a revolutionary planet. And it's going to sit there until 2044. Okay. So it's going to be around for a minute, more than a New York minute, as they like to say. So what that simply means is there's going to be a lot of changes of the guards. Those that have been in power will be less powered, so to speak. Those that have struggled and in all earnest to do what is the right thing to do, to build, to grow, to evolve, to level up, as people now say, well, they will get their chance to do just that. So I don't know how or who or when they decided it, but they said they now call it a dwarfed planet. That's the term they use. But I'm saying to you, if you talk to an astrologer, Pluto is just as significant as it was when it was discovered, as it is now, and will always be. Now, there's going to be a rare phenomenon that's going to take place 136 years from now, on May the 19th of 2161. That is, if man don't blow themselves, the kingdom come. And that will be that 8 planets will be in alignment. So right now there's 6. On the 28th of February next month, there'll be 7 planets aligned with Mercury thrown in. And then on May the 19th, again, in 2161, it will be a 1 universal year, by the way. See, this is the beauty of numerology. See, so that's why I can project way in the past to 1776, which is a 3 universal year, or I can project way in the future in 2161. How did I get it? Simple, folks, simple. That's what got me hooked on this. 2 plus 1 plus 6 plus 1 is 10, and 1 plus 0 is 1. So way in the future, again, if man doesn't blow themselves, the kingdom come, I pray, okay? Therefore, it will be a 1 universal year. And it shows you how numbers work, how scientific, how universal it is, that those who know how to do these calculations can project 136 years from now that 8 of those planets will be in alignment. That 8th one will be the Earth, by the way. That'll be one of the planets that will be included. So with that, they're also going to be in each and every year, they're always going to be retrogrades. Now, Uranus, for example, this year, in fact, it went retrograde on September the 1st, and will stay that way until the end of this month on January the 30th of this year. Jupiter went retrograde on October the 9th of last month, and is going to really go back to normal on February the 4th of this year, 2025. Mars went retrograde on December 6th and will be going direct again on February the 23rd of this year. Pluto, as I said, they got to wait until May the 4th of this year, all the way to October the 13th. As for Venus, it's going to go to retrograde on March the 1st, all the way through April the 25th. Okay. Now, let me say this too. These planets, I tell people that if you can master the planets and understand the nature of the planets, you can understand the nature of the zodiac signs and the nature of the numbers, because each planet has been assigned to a element in the zodiac. So we'll start with Aries. Aries is assigned to the planet Mars. Mars is governed by the number 9. That's why this year is very important, because this year 2025 adds up to a 9. In fact, I understand as of today, earlier today in California, there's another fire, a set of fires that broke out in another part of California, and they went from 50 acres to 5,000 acres in a matter of hours. And I don't think they've slowed it down yet. So California is having a really tough time. In fact, even its capital, Sacramento, is under a fire sign. I think it was established on October the 27th, but I know it's a 9, that's for sure. All righty. So then another planet that they have is Venus. Oh, well, I'll start with all the zodiac signs that people know. So for Taurus, okay, Taurus is ruled by the planet Venus. That's considered the love planet, the planet of beauty and balance and things of that nature. It rules the second house in the zodiac. All right. It's also numerically governed by the number 6, or anyone born on the 6th, the 15th, or the 24th of any month. By the way, I'm going to take some readings today, too. This is my fun part. I like this part because it kind of keeps me sharp, you know. The next is Gemini. Now, Gemini is the planet of communications, the planet of movement and motion and variety and things of that nature. It is governed by the sign of Gemini and Virgo, respectively. Also, the number 5, such as people born on the 5th, 14th, or 23rd of the month. Then next comes the moon, which is governed by Cancer, astrologically. Also, or I should say Cancer. Let me do Cancer, because that's next after Gemini. Thank you. It's governed by the planet of the moon. Okay. And it rules anyone under born on the 2nd, the 7th, the 11th, the 16th, the 20th, the 25th, or the 29th of the month. Then next we have Leo. Now that's governed by the planet of the sun. Okay. Actually, I think they consider the sun and the moon stars. Okay. There's a whole lot of things going on. And what has always been a question to me is this. When anytime they want to judge what's going on in the stars astrologically, they will always consult those in the world of astronomy. Okay. So I always found that fascinating. I've never heard them discover something in the name found in astronomy and they go ask astrologers for it. But when it comes to astrological phenomena and things of that nature, they have no problems at all consulting astronomers. Okay. And in fact, there's an app that I downloaded from one of my clients. It's called Stellium. And what it is, when you point your phone to areas of the heavens, you can actually see the planetary alignments either at night or in the day. So for those of you who want to see these 6 planets that are aligned right now from the first yesterday all the way through mid-February, that is the app. I think it's free. Download it. It's called Stellium. All right. And it's almost taken from the name of when planetaries are aligned. I think a stellium in astrology is when the planets are less than 10 degrees each way. So you have people that have 5 or 6 planets in one house, as it's called. Sometime in the 10th house, I think Beyonce's got a stellium around her 2nd or 3rd house. The last time I checked, things of that nature. But anyway, getting to the next one, Virgo. Well, Virgo is ruled by the planet of Mercury, which deals with communication, except with Virgo, it's ruled by the earth side of Mercury, and with Gemini, it's ruled by the air side of it, because each of these signs are governed by an element in nature. And I'm telling you, one of the best students of astrology and or numerology are those who understand the nature of the planets, because the planet has dominion over both the zodiac signs in the heavens as well as the numbers in the heavens too. Okay. So next will be Libra. Now that's also ruled by Venus, okay, or the people born on the 6th, the 15th, or the 24th of the month. It rules the air side of Venus, where Taurus rules the earth side of Venus, okay? Then next we have Scorpio, which is governed by Mars or Pluto. Now they reassigned, actually the original sign assigned to Scorpio was Aries, or Mars, I should say. However, they reposition it and they put Pluto in its place. But the original rulership of Scorpios, for you Scorpios there in the audience, it is Mars originally. But Pluto, we'll take that, okay? But it will still govern those under the sign of Scorpio, people born on the 9th, 18th, or 27th of the month. Then next we have Sagittarius. Now, this is ruled by the planet Jupiter, okay? And in fact, that is going retrograde on October the 9th of last year, all the way through February the 4th of next month, which is in a couple of weeks. Actually, it's kind of next week or week after next. But anyway, so Jupiter rules Sagittarius, and it rules the number 3 or anyone born on the 3rd, 12th, 21st, or 30th of the month. All righty. Then next, we have Capricorn. Now, Capricorn is ruled by the old age planet of Saturn, okay? And it's governed by planet Saturn, whose numerical rulership is the number 8. So in the Bible, in the New Testament, in the chapter of Revelation, we talked about the mark of the man, it's the mark of the beast with 666. Well, further cryptically down in that same chapter of Revelations in the New Testament, they refer to Christ as 888. And if you put the 8 on its side, it represents the symbol of infinity, without beginning, without end. 8 is also the rulership of the ancestors. And I explained, I don't know about the European or non-African Americans historians, but I know this: majority of the greatest African American historians, from Dr. Diop, Dr. John Henry Clark, that I had the pleasure of knowing, Dr. Van Yekinen, that I had the pleasure of knowing, Dr. Leonard Jeffries, that I had the pleasure of knowing, Dr. Ivan Van Sertima, brilliant man. We lectured together in Houston, Texas one year. And a couple of others, John Hope Franklin. All of these guys are Capricorns, are ruled by the planet Saturn. Well, actually, if you look, Ivan Van Sertima is really over a little bit more into the latter part of January into the sign of Aquarius, but the original rulership of Aquarius is actually Saturn, okay? So it's these kinds of things that I understand. So that governs the ancestors. So I'm going to get to Aquarius and Pisces next. Can't leave you guys out. So I'm just trying to get you to understand that this is why 8 are old soul people. They worship the ancestors. They, as children, the number 8 to live up under the elders, soaking up the knowledge, the wisdom, the experience. So I learned from them not to do that which they told me about. You know what I'm saying? It's those kinds of things. Then there is Aquarius. Now, the original rulership of Aquarius was Saturn. They rearranged it and changed it to Uranus. And the planet that governs it, the number is the number 4. All right. So it's an 8-4 kind of energy. And I never understood why, although I'm an Aquarius, why 8s have come into my life until I tell my students, and all of you, if in doubt, always go with the original 7 planets, okay? Because that speak of Pisces, for example, if you look at Pisces, its original rulership was Jupiter, but then they reassigned it to Neptune, which is called the number 7, or anybody born on the 2nd, the 3rd, the 7th, the 11th, the 12th, the 16th, the 20th, 21st, 25th, 29th, and 30th of the month, okay? So all of these things. So the more you know the planets, the more you know the nature of the zodiac sign, the more you know the nature of the number. And so that's what I'm going to be talking about at some point later. But at any point, I'm going to actually, what I probably will do is this. I'm going to do something very different. And I'm going to take the birthdays of people, but I'm going to transfer the signs into planets. So for example, This is Alan, right? Now, Alan is born on April the 10th, which makes them a fire sign with a fire number. Okay. So I can say they are an Aries 1 person, or I could say their planetary rulers are Mars and the Sun. See what I'm saying? So this is the beauty of this stuff. You can, this is I'm telling you, this is great stuff. Take this person, May Bay. Thanks for the donation, by the way. This person is May 18th, all right? Which means this person is a Taurus 9 person. Another way I can explain it by elements is this is an earth sign with a fire number. Or I can say this is a Venus-Mars relationship because Taurus is ruled by Venus, 9 is ruled by Mars. So this is a war. See, because 6 represents love, 9 represents war. I think there was a famous, thick novel out one time called War and Peace. Okay. And so that's what this would be about. On one hand, very peaceful, but on one hand, a fighter to no end. There was a famous communicator in the media that was born on this birthday. I can't recall their name right now, but let me go back to the top. So this is very interesting stuff, and it tells you a lot about everything and whatnot. So I'm going to kind of start at the top and work back a bit. And for all of you who are very, very nice, all the nice comments for joining the Live with Lloyd family, I really, really appreciate this. I'm always open to suggestions. I don't know everything. I know quite a bit, but I don't know everything. But that's the beauty of it. You know, with life, you just don't learn everything all at once. I mean, come on. So Melanated 8, she's a Pisces 3, if memory serves me correctly. She finally gave up her birthday about 2 or 3 sessions ago. And not that she was hiding it, but she's always the first one out the gate to show love to the Live with Lloyd family, as well as Earth. These are the rock steadies, okay? All of you now. And thanks very much for the nice words, Misty. I appreciate that. So now here we have good evening. Okay, this is it. Let's see what we got. Okay, Shawnee West, Shawan West, excuse me. And happy Wednesday to you too, and A. Spruill. So let me get to some of these. And I ain't seen Denisha Hanson in a second. How you doing too? Now, here's the beauty of what I do. Yes, I can talk to an astrologer. Yes, I can talk to a numerologist. Where we part ways, that is an astrologer and a numerologist, it does something magically that astrology don't do, which is your name. So, for example, in the Power Series yesterday, there was a person that asked me about their name. And I told them that the name often, see, the name you got, let me explain it this way. The month and day you're born indicates why you're here. I call it like being in the school of life. The term they say is destiny number, life path number, birth path number, okay? I call it being in the school of life because most people can wrap their head around that concept. Because if a person is not familiar with the terminology in what I do, they'll hear the words. You know what I'm saying? It's like a banker got their own jargon, a mechanic got their own jargon, a scientist got their own jargon. Well, we in this field of numerology and astrology, we got our own jargon too. So what I've learned how to do is to keep it simple because everybody we meet are not familiar with these terminologies. So the way I said, if you want to know why you are here, you take the month you were born, the day you were born, and the year you were born, and that will tell you what grade you're in. The irony is on that month, day, and year you were born was the universal day from that point in time in your life. Okay. So if a person, month, day, and year added, let's say you had a person born February the 7th in the year of, let's say, 1980, 1989, right? So that means that person would be in a 9. Their destiny number would be a 9. But it tells me on that day, on February the 7th of 1989, it was a 9 universal day. Okay. On May the 14th of 2021, when 8 planets will be aligned 136 years from now, I can tell you right then and there, it will be a 7 universal day. Don't take my word for it. Do May, then do the 19th, then do 2021, And you will see that it adds up to the total of 7. So a person born in that year, way, way up the road of life, they will be in a 7th destiny, a 7th birth path, a 7th life path, but deep down it'll be a 7th universal day, way, way centuries ahead. That's the beauty of what I do. Because you'll have people that say, okay, Lloyd, well, what about the next 4 or 5 years? Simple, simple. The year after this, 2026, is going to be a 1. Then 2027 is going to be an 11. Then 2028 is going to be a 3. Then 2029 is going to be a 4. I mean, so I don't care whether you go in the future, go in the past. And this is very important because we all have milestones in the life. And what do I mean? We have milestones in the life where some people got married, some people had children, some people got a job, some people have made a lots of transition of a person or whatever. And all you got to do is whatever year that was an eventful year for you, not me, you, then it will tell you what personal year you were going through at that time. And we all goes through these phases of high and low. No one escapes the 9-year cycle. It goes from 1 to 9. People will say, well, what about 10? 1 plus 0 is back to 1. What about 11? 1 plus 1 is back to 2, and so on as it goes, okay? So anyway, this is fascinating, and this is why I never get bored, and I do get excited. You'd think as long as I've done this, it could be boring, but not for me. It's like really fun. And then I'm so inquisitive about things because everybody has a very interesting side to their nature too. And that's that public side, that public that we see, that side that we project. Hello, Kim from Northern California. I don't know whether there have been fires in your area, but please be careful. Okay. Man of peace. Thank you very, very much. But so what I'll do is I will do these. Okay. This is Miss Neal. Thank you very, very much for the donation. Now, she's born the same day as Nina Simone, Barbara Jordan, who was a famous politician back in the day, back in the 70s, 80s, I think. Anyway, she's a Pisces. So she's a water sign with a fire number. Okay. She got the same combination as Courtney Vance, the actor that's married to Angela Bassett, except he's more into March the 12th. So his numbers turned around, but she is a fire sign with a water number. So that tells me that Neptune and Jupiter are strongly aspected in your chart. See, all I did was I transposed that information and changed them into planets. So what does that mean? Neptune deals with dreams and illusions and delusions and things of that nature, the imaginations, intuition, and things like that. Then Jupiter represents expansion and good luck and prosperity and determination to succeed. So no matter whether I do it by the stars, do it by the numbers, or do it by the planets, you can read yourself. Okay. So anyway, thank you, by the way. And you are in a 5 personal year, which means you are in a Mercury cycle, a cycle of communications, travel, motion, movement, variety, things of that nature, to keep it moving. You have a 7 life path. That would be, if that's the case, yes, you're born in the year of the 1, 2, 3. Yep. You're 7. In other words, if you notice, I took the month she's born a 2, the day she's born a 3, the year she's born, which is also a 2, and that adds up to a 7. Now, that's the quick way, but there's technically, you're supposed to put the birthday at the top, the date of birth underneath that year, draw your lines, add your columns down, add it across, and it would be, that's what it is, okay? All right, so, Sister Maya, she is a Virgo 4 person. So therefore, she would be to me an earth sign with an air number, or I would say that if you look at it, we're dealing with Mercury, which governs the number, the sign of Virgo, and I'm looking at Uranus, which is air. So we would have a Mercury-Uranus kind of combination, if I'm not mistaken. I think Uranus has this exaltation in Mercury, or Mercury has this exaltation. There's so much to astrology. That's with astrology. Now, you want to talk about the never-ending story where you never stop learning? That's a sign to go into astrology. But nonetheless, she is in a 4 personal year. So anytime your personal year, which is the month and day you're born, the month and day added to the year. That's how you get your personal year, for those who want to know. All you got to do is whatever the month and day you're born on, don't put the year you were born, substitute it and put the year you want to know about. That will tell you the year. So in her case, she is going into it. She is in a personal year that matches her date of birth. That gives assistance to the person in terms of their endeavors. That's exactly what that does. It means that she will be better organized, have a better sense of direction and focus, and her intentions and things of that nature. And then each of these signs rule a set of numbers. In her case, the 4, 1, and 9. These angel numbers, as I call them, rule angelic days, which is Sunday, Monday, Wednesday. And I mean, this stuff is like deep, okay, for me. Anyway, so this is Beverly Jackson. Today's your birthday. Yes, 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 yes. A lot of famous people, but one of them that stood out for me right away, which I just realized when I was reading the forecast, is Sam Cooke. Sam Cooke was very unique. Do you know he was one of the first artists of African American descent that wanted to control his music? Okay. So yeah, they got all this scandal about him being shot in a hotel and all that other stuff. But I'm not talking about his personal life, okay? Because we all got some drama. Nobody ain't got no drama in their personal life. But in the business world, in the world of his music, his art, his craft, the man was very, very sharp. He, along with Michael Jackson just took it to a whole nother level. I mean, he owned 50% of Sony Music, okay? We talking about a whole different thing. But he also, Sam Cooke, had a strong desire to have control over his art, over his music, and own it. So, so these are things, but I got a little excited. But anyway, you are an air sign with an air number, okay? So you would have a Saturn Uranus kind of energy. Why? Because Saturn is the original rulership of Aquarius, and then it's also assigned to the number Uranus, and Uranus rules the number 4. So that tells me that your numbers would be technically the 4, 1, and 5, but you'll find that 4, 1s, and 8s will sometimes come into the mix too. And then when I took the month and day you're born, you're in a 5 personal year. And that means you are at a pivot moment in your life. You're at the midway point in that 9-year journey from 1 to 9. And at this midway point, you are ready to make up what they call now a paradigm shift, which just simply means something major, whether in relationships, in health, in movement, in jobs, careers, whatever the case is. Everybody is a 5 person. You ain't going through the same thing. There is a main theme with everybody going in the 5. They want and desirous of a change for the better. And so some will want it in this area of life, some will want it in that area of life, some will want better health. So it all depends. It all depends on the focus and the direction they're going on. But I know you like to be different. That's for sure. It tells me like to think outside the box. And I'm looking at the year you were born in, Beverly, and you were born in the year of the 5, which indicates one of your parents could have either been a Gemini or Virgo, or born on the 5th, 14th, or 23rd of the month. Because the year you're born also gives me a clue to the possible clue as to the birth date of your parent. I kid you not. These are some of the things I've uncovered. It was suggested to me today, maybe I should, and I think I will do that, but I'm not going to tell you now, but I'm going to do something very, very soon. Anyway, those are your numbers, and thank you very, very much, and happy birthday. Have a nice day today. This is Farua. I've said sometimes I might be mess up the names, but I try not to. Birthdays, I'm great at. Names, I've got something to work on. Anyway, you're born on the 27th. This person is a fire sign with a fire number. This person has the Sun-Mars relationship. Why do I say that? Well, she's ruled. This person is ruled by the sign of Leo. Okay, that's fire, which is governed by the sun. And they're born on the 27th, which is a 9, that's governed by Mars. So I'm seeing a Sun-Mars relationship, but it's fire, fire all around. So I know whoever this person is has always been a go-getter, no nonsense, proactive, assertive. Some will maybe say aggressive. Normally they have very good opinion of themselves and may have either, if this is a woman, they may have been a person that may or met a man dealing with. I've noticed that 9 women born on the 9th, 18th, or 27th, normally a lot of times they will tend to attract men in uniform, law enforcement, military, construction, fires, sanitation, bus driver, crossing guard or something like that. They wear uniform security, or they themselves will often go into a world where they become a nurse or whatever, wear uniform in themselves too. But anyway, I know this person is no joke. I would give them all the respect that is entitled to them. And this particular year, you're in a 7 year, the year of the law of attraction. How I got your personal year, again, is very simple for those who may have tuned in. I simply took the month and day you were born, and in its place of the year of your birth, I substituted and put in its place the year I want to know about, which is 2025. So that means to get what you want. Is there hope for us? Yeah. And when I say there's hope for us, yeah, why not? I mean, because if we didn't have hope, you might as well roll over and play dead. And I'm not down with none of that. Okay. That's not what's happening. You don't do that. Because if so, what's the point of living? But I understand with some of the frustrations and some of the drama we're going through, but sometimes that actually brings out the resilience, and nobody has done more of that than we of African Americans just said. If you look at our history, because we were captured and brought here and enslaved. Okay, although this history, again, this is so important, folks. People want to say we were slaves. No, we were enslaved. Okay, there's a big difference. It ain't like to say, okay, we're gonna come from Ghana, we're gonna come from this place, come from that place, and we're gonna be slaves, right, boss? No, we did not do that. No, that is not our history. Trust me, we were enslaved and went through the worst of the worst, the most indignities of our treatments, and we have survived. So when you ask, is there hope? The answer is, oh yes, there is. So it's how you look at your half a glass of life, dear. Half empty, half full. Okay. So I'm saying to everybody out there, I don't care what color you come from with this crazy world, and everybody's getting somewhat the same treatment. If you didn't go hope, listen, the sun comes out every day. It may not come out on this side of the territory of the neighborhood, but the sun shines its face everywhere on this planet Earth. So just think of yourself as a ray of sun and what shadow you're going to cast. Okay, anyway, enough of that. Okay, 2044, a long time. Yes, it's that Pluto is going to be in Aquarius for 20 years. And that's going to be 2044 is going to be year of the one. How did I do that? 2 plus 0 plus 4 plus 4 is 10, and 1 plus 0 is 1. So again, the beauty of what I do is this, that no matter whether it's in the future, the present, or the past, I can tell you what the universal influence was, numerically speaking, and what personal psyche you were in at that time as well. So this stuff is great. I'm telling you. That's all I can say. Okay. Now, and she says, 2021. I hear you. I said the same thing. I said, whoa, will I be around for 2161? Do you know there have to be about 4, 5, or 6 reincarnations for me to jump on that party? Okay. But the point is, even if I'm not here in this present moment of the 21st century, I know exactly what's going to be happening 136 years from now. That is awesome. I know that Aries are going to do well. Leos and Aquarians are going to do well. And anybody in 2021 born on the 1st, the 4th, the 10th, the 13th, 19th, 22nd, 28th, or 31st will be the dominant influence. I know that Capricorns and Tauruses and Libras will be somewhat challenged too. So anyway, but trust me, y'all should take my course. In fact, my course is on sale right now. Hold on, let me show you. So I know I'm switching up a bit, but y'all should take my course. Did I put it up here? I hope I did. Did I? Oh man. Let me see. Did I do that? I am so embarrassed. My course is on sale today. Today ends at 2. I meant to post it. But if you go to Linktree/numbersandyou, and Linktree is spelled linktr.ee/numbersandyou, you can sign up for the course. I think it's $13 each course. I mean, for less than lunch for 2. You own all 3 courses. Okay. Oh man. Anyway. Anyway, okay, folksies. Let me see. All right. Hope by the numbers, October 13th. Well, you will be entering a 5 personal year. a year that gives you an opportunity as well as the possibility to do anything you feel you desire to making a change in. It's not sitting around. It's a lot of things that's going to come your way. But it's interesting. Opportunities can be fleeting. And you know what I'm saying? It's like an opportunity is waiting for you to say, when an opportunity comes, you got to jump on it. Sometimes you may not have the time to think about it, kind of discuss it. And, so they say opportunities are fleeting. And that's what that means. So you have to keep your eyes and ears open. Okay. What about San Diego? I was looking at San Diego. I forgot what birthday San Diego is because I was looking at that. Okay. I'll have to get an answer to you on that. But I tell you this, in my book, Numbers in You, I do list some of the major cities, and I definitely list San Diego, but I did it by its name, not by its birthday. But when I was doing California, I was looking at some of them and whatnot. Okay. Now, this is interesting, Gaylon. Let me tell you why, because I'm looking at, do you mean March the 7th of 85? Or if they're out of this country, do they mean July the 30th, 31st? Because there's no 32 days. I'm going to assume you meant March the 7th. If so, you're a water sign with a water number. So I'm looking at a Jupiter-Neptune influence in your chart. That's exactly what I'm looking at. And since 7 is considered a psychic number, Pisces is considered a psychic sign, I would never have you go against what your intuition is telling you. You know how some people say, oh, you're just being silly. You know what you're talking about? Not with this birthday. I would not do that to you. Okay. I just say, okay, let me just see what's going on here. Okay. That's it. Okay. This one is Quintanilla, January the 31st, the same day as Empress, our moderator on Wednesday. So her birthday's coming up next week. It'll be next Friday. Yes, the 29th. Yes, Friday of next week. Not this Friday, but Friday after next. So we're going to celebrate. I'm not going to sing to her, mess up her day. Empress Rel. This is Empress Rel right here. If you notice, that's my moderator, okay? But she's also born on January the 31st. So you, therefore, too, would be a Saturn-Uranus combination. Your numbers technically are the 4, 1, and 5. Your best days technically are Sunday, Monday, Wednesday. Your best months are always in the months of February, June, July, August, as well as September. And it indicates that you are a standout in the own way of how you like to do things. Very sensitive personality. Lost your job unexpectedly earlier this month. That makes sense. January is not one of our best months, at least leading up to the birthday. And in fact, just before your birthday, when I did discuss the birthday concept, 52 days before your birthday, the last 7 days, as you're coming back around to your birthday, is called a critical cycle. There's an excellent book called Life Mastery and the Cycles of Faith by Dr. H. Spencer Lewis. Okay. I was talking about that book last night, and it would tell you the different phases that you're in. So when you're in your critical cycle, that's equivalent to the planet of Saturn, the taskmaster. Okay. So, and then notice it was sudden and unexpected. That's almost always the nature of a number 4. When you least expect it, so to speak, that's when this happens or that happens. It kind of goes like that. So, but I can tell you this, with you being in a 5 personal year, that tells me opportunities are on the horizon. It tells me that and so what makes it even interesting, this month of January was in a 6 personal month. Your direct opposition number is a 6. So I would expect you coming into January under not the best kinds of conditions. February is better because it rules the number 4. 7 is very friendly because it's co-related because it's a sun-moon relationship. And so you'll find that things will be much better. And in fact, I can tell you now that it'll probably be in the 3rd week, the week of the 15th through the 21st, because I developed this concept called the personal week that nobody's done. This is one of my contributions to the ancient African art of numerology, that around the 21st, the 15th to the 21st, going into the 3rd week, and I would say somewhere either around that 3rd Sunday or somewhere around the 19th, look for something important to happen to you. And then get back to me and tell me how we did, okay? Sorry, but you know what? Yes, you may have lost it unexpectedly, but it may have just been a blessing in disguise. You just don't know. That's the beauty why God don't give us no crystal ball, because we know who to marry, who to stay away from, and everything else like that. So we got to really, really understand that these things that at one point appears to be, as they say, one man's trash is another man's treasure. So, hey, they just lost a good person. What do you want to say? They lost a genius, because I would say from your birthday, you're different. That's for sure. Maybe that's it. Haters, what you going to do? Anyway, I think you're going to do well, though. But look for it next month, February, in your best period, and especially in the third week of the 15th through the 21st. Okay. Now, Kenneth Cole, that sounds like that's interesting. What's in store? Isn't there a clothing line named Kenneth Cole or something like that? Anyway, you are a fire sign with a fire number. So you have a Mars-Jupiter relationship, because Aries is ruled by Mars and 3 is ruled by Jupiter. So see how I can talk the language of astrologers as well as planetaries, as well as numbers. So being a fire sign with a fire number just simply means get up and go. Your first month is your formative cycle that tells me you've struggled and worked real hard. You're in your productive cycle now that tells me you've been very busy, very creative, very expansive, very determined to succeed, which has been your MO from day one. So if you want to know what's in store for 2025, you will be in a 7th personal year. How did I do it? Simple. For those who's just joining the Live with Lloyd family, I took the month you were born, add to it the day you were born, but instead of adding the year, I substituted you were born and put in the year you want to know about, 2025. And so mentally, I added it up and it adds to a 7. You happen to be in the law of attraction cycle. This is your spiritual journey this particular year. This is a cycle where when people go through a 7, they go through a soul searching phase. They begin to look for answers beyond the 5 senses that we know of. They begin to go deep down the rabbit hole of life. They want to know the why to think, okay, you love me, but why do you love me, boo? It's that kind of thing. You go deep. But it's also dealing with whatever you put in your mind is what you attract. So whatever you want to, whatever you envision on the mental screen of your mind. So if you're always thinking around, I have no money, the source will make sure you get your wish, okay? So whatever you wish for, think about it. And that's what the elders used to say. Be careful what you ask for. Be careful what you wish for, because you just might get it. Well, that's the cycle you happen to be in. But over and above that, your key numbers are always, without exceptions, the 3, 9, and 6, which Nikola Tesla says those who understand the 3, 6, and 9 understand the universe. Okay, I'm going to try to keep it moving here. This is Brandon, fire sign with a fire number. This is a Sun-Mars relationship, planetarily speaking, all right? And so that means a very passionate, very productive, and notice if you look at the birthday, 8988. So it indicates some ancestral kind of things running through the birthday of this person. A period of fate or destiny is running through this birthday as well. A period where you're misunderstood. And it also tells me, through no fault of your own, you are definitely, without question, a late bloomer. In other words, probably between your 30, I would say your 33rd, and by your 36th birthday, you had some control over your affairs as compared with the earlier part of your life. Growing up, maturing fast, things of that nature, but you are a fighter. You have strong will, grit, and determination, and should not be discouraged. And you happen to be in an 8th personal year. When I took the month and day you're born, I get a little excited, but here's the point. The point is, if ever you want to make a dent in this world, an impact on this planet, you are in the year to do it just now. Why do I say it? Easy. 1, you're a 9. The year 2025 is a 9, and you're in an 8th personal year. Everybody want to know when they're going through the 8th cycle, because it represents that money, achievement, and recognition, and things of that nature. So it's just what you're going to do with the opportunity. Now, you can fool around, Brandon, if you want to, and not do nothing with this year. But the next time you get a chance to do this, my friend, won't be until the year 2032. No, 2034, excuse me. That's when you'll get your next shot at this. Now you can fool around. See, that's the beauty of it. Life ain't like you play these video games, you get zapped, you start all over again. It don't work like that. Everything is slowly. Everything is with precision. The next 9-year cycle won't be until 2034. And then the next one won't be until 2043. And then 2052. And then 2063. I mean 2062, 2061 rather. But the point is, why should you wait when you're in the midst of taking advantage of the opportunity that presents itself? And when you know that your best numbers are the 9, 1, and 4, and that Tuesdays and Sundays are your best days, and your best months being February, April, August, and November, this is your year to rock, Brandon. Okay? Simple. So it can't be said we didn't have this conversation, brother. Thank you. So anyway, that was fun. Okay. This is Jacqueline. She had a happy belated birthday. Jacqueline Christmas. That's interesting. She is 1-1. And so that means she is a earth sign with a 5 number, which means she has a Saturn-Sun relationship. That's what her sun, and so this is what I'm saying. The more you study this, and this is why I'm offering. Let me tell you this. Hold up. Let me show you something. Gotta switch up. I don't know why I didn't mention my class. That's weird. Anyway, I got so much on the brain. That's why I'm having this class on February the 25th, teaching people how to become professional astrologers. You know, AI is replacing a lot. Well, they can't replace no astrologers and no numerologists. They may be better at, maybe faster in its interpretation, but it takes a little, shall we say, finesse to do this. Okay, it really, really does. And AIs can't do that. Yes, they can count quicker. Yes, they can do the calibrations quicker. I ain't gonna have no problems with that. But the art of interpretation and how it's interpreted and the nuance of how it's interpreted, AI can't do that. So what I'm saying is they offer all kinds of courses. For my case, I am offering this one on how to become a professional numerologist. That starts on February the 25th. Okay. And by the way, somebody had asked about my next series, my next power series next month is on February the 11th, where I talk about relationships. Okay. Because we're always in relationships. And what you want to do is, well, anyway, I'll talk about that later. But anyway, I got carried. Let me get back to, okay, let me see. Wow, man, time be going far, be running my mouth. Okay, hold on. Let me see. I'm going to start from the back. And what I'm going to do is make sure that I don't forget. See, I'm glad I started from the back. This is Dana B. Thanks, Dana B, for the donation. Much appreciated. She said her sun is in Aries. Her moon is in Capricorn. Her rising is in Virgo. So it tells me from the moon, which is how you think, the Virgo, how you feel. It tells me you might be short in appearance because Virgo is a short sign. Okay. Virgo rules the pinky. This is Virgo. Okay. And as you notice, it's the shortest. I'm going to teach a course on palmistry in April too. So this is the shortest finger. This is the Mercury finger. And Mercury rules Gemini and it rules Virgo. But Virgo especially is the shortest finger. So you might need by short in height, little things like that. But anyway, getting back to you, you are a fire sign with a fire number. So you have a Mars-Sun relationship, astrologically speaking. And it means that you would be a very forceful, dynamic person. Sometimes people might be a little threatened or intimidated. That's not your problem because you are born to be a leader, not a follower. Okay. Now, when I say not your problem, as long as you're not overbearing, as long as you're not selfish, as long as you're not being narcissistic and everything's got to go your way, but you are born to lead. You'd have made an excellent lawyer, doctor, scientist, entrepreneur, manager, supervisor, director, all depending on how you flow, all depending on how you were encouraged in your formative years, which is covering the first month you were born, because the month you were born indicates you were probably raised or influenced by a third party. Yes, your mom and dad could have been there, but it could have been like an auntie or grandmother, a grandfather, somebody that was equally as important as much as your parents, if that makes sense. So the only thing your birthday says, you got to be careful who you put your trust in, who you seek your counsel from, and how you put your name on the dotted line. And this year you're in a 4 personal year. But your key numbers are the 1, 4, and 9, and Sundays and Tuesdays are your best days. Okay? Thank you. All right. Let me see. I just want to make sure, because when I get to the end, I get a chance at the very end to look at people, and I see sometimes people make donations. I want to make sure I get them in. All right. This is Mariah Harris, 444. Thanks for the donation. She's an earth sign with an earth number. So that means I'm looking at a Venus relationship. Why? Because Venus rules the sign of Taurus. Venus rules the number 6. So this person is in its natural home. Got to understand, each number has a natural home around the wheel, around the calendar. It's just a matter of where, in this case, this is a perfect fit. So that means you're earthy. And so it says when to hear relationships, Taurus, Sun, Scorpio, Moon. So if you got a Scorpio moon, that means it was in the opposite. That means you were born under a full moon. that the moon was shining bright in the heavens when you were born, and you have a Virgo ascendant. So that means you're kind of short in your weight too. Not embarrassingly short, but I mean, like, you might be a little below the normal height for an average woman, whatever that is. Okay. But I tell you this, though, whatever it is, you've got sound judgment, strong sense of right and wrong and conviction, stubborn as you want to be, because 6 is a stubborn number, Taurus is a stubborn number. So if anybody touches that stubborn button, boy, God bless them. Me, I'd love to be a fly on the wall, but I'm sure you're just as sweet as you want to be, okay? And so by being sweet as you want to be, that is the charming part of you. Pleasant, like nice things, almost everything you like. I shouldn't say you're high maintenance, but almost everything you like, you can't afford. Okay, that's another way of putting it. All right, I'll put it like that. So these are some of the things you have. I just want to make sure, because I've got 4 more minutes, I might talk over just a little bit. I want to make sure that anybody who made a donation, I want to acknowledge them and get that done. Okay. See, this is Sandy Newbold, and she did it twice. Thanks, Sandy. I really appreciate that. Now, this person is an earth sign with an air number. Therefore, I can say this person is a Mercury relationship. Why? Because 5, Mercury rules Virgo. Mercury rules the number 5. So just like we had the person born who made the donation, that was a Venus relationship. The number 5's natural home is in the month of either September or June. All right. So your home is it. But the only twist is that you are the earth element, which is very pragmatic. And yet you have this air number, which brings about a fluidity, a quickness in thought, a quickness in action. You make an excellent writer. You make an excellent analyst too. You love to question things. You make an excellent detective. So if you like detective movies, Law and Order, all these, whatever these shows on TV and stuff like that, I don't know whether they still got that on there. But the point is that anything that requires a point of inquisitiveness, curiosity, getting underneath the skin of things like that, that's right up your alley. And you happen to be in a 5 personal year too. So being in a 5 personal year and born on the 5th, this is your year to shine. And since 5 represents opportunities and possibilities up the yin yang, you got to do this. Now, you can fool around and wait till 2034 if you want to, but it's going to be a slow move. All right. And so what I'm saying is, while opportunity presents itself, take advantage of all the things you got. And by the way, it's so interesting about your birthday, which is none of my business, because it tells me right now much older men or persons are drawn to you. But I tell you this, Sandy, as you get older, all of a sudden it's going to switch up, and you're going to look in the bathroom and say, why are these young men hitting on the sister? Okay. And believe me, we're not trying to be your mother. We know the difference. But your key numbers, by the way, are the 5, 6, and 9. All right, let's do this. Cherry Red, thank you. They are a fire sign with a fire number. So they have a Sun-Jupiter relationship, because the Sun rules Leo, Jupiter rules the number 3. So see what I'm saying? So once you understand this helps you understand yourself better. And so fire, whether it's by sign or number, are very passionate in their nature, passionate in their personality, assertive, okay, bold, and sometimes intimidating. And they don't mean to be intimidating. They just got this thing of conviction that they want to be at the top. 3s always want to be at the best. And Leo, that's automatic, their position. I ain't never met a Leo didn't feel good about themselves and didn't want to be top dog. But that's why most of the great inventors and first in the world of history have been Leos, from the first to land on the moon, although that's now in controversy, okay, because they said they got the films that show that. Matthew Henson that reached the North Pole, a Leo. Barack Obama, the first African-American, and it looked like that's going to be like that for quite some time, a Leo. So it's just, I'm saying, you got too much going for you to be slipping. That's all I'm saying. And your key numbers, by the way, are the 3, the 1, and the 4, and Thursdays and Sundays are your best days. Okay. Let me see this. I think what I'm going to do next is do a little marathon. I'm going to just take everybody, but I'm trying to get you to see the way I like to teach people. So you understand how important you are. I've never met a person who isn't special in my eyes. It's how you see yourself that I cannot do for you. And if you don't see yourself as special, divinely special, then you miss the point. But that is not the intentions of this culture. This culture just wants you to be the same old, but you never, never, never know. Okay, I will do this. This one. She says, if I had time for my dear grandmother who has since passed, her birthday was yesterday, January 21st. I'm curious, with Sylvia, with your grandmother was an Aquarius, bless her soul. And it also indicated that her numbers was the 3, the 4, and the 1. Although I do not know the month she passed in, I can tell you from the birthday that her challenging months, there was probably the early part of January, just before her birthday, followed by May and June, and followed by September and October. Those would have been the months. I don't know what month she transitioned, but those would have been her possible months of transition. No, I don't predict when a person's going to die. No. What I'm doing is based upon numbers that are favorable, and then I know numbers that are not favorable. And the numbers that were not favorable to your grandmother was the 8, the 6, and the 5. So that means January, May, June, September, and October. So, and especially on those days, such as Saturday rules the 8, then 6 rules Friday, and 5 rules Wednesday. So she may have passed away on that Saturday or that Wednesday or that Friday. These are, see, all this is research. So don't be asking me, do I know how long you're going to live? That's not my job. I got enough problems trying to deal with my own stuff on day to day, whether I'm going to wake up in the morning, okay? So that's not my job. But I'm just saying, only since you mentioned it, but it tells you this. Your grandmother did not look her age. She was very pleasant, very talkative, very expressive, very ambitious, very creative, and always, and she would have been in a 4 personal year had she still been living. Okay, so that's it. Let me see if there's one more. Let me see one more. I just want to make sure I got everybody who made the donations. Okay, Maya, thank you so much for the donation. I don't see your birthday, but if so, Kafunya, that's my girl. Now this is my girl. I'm gonna have her on soon talking about crystals. She is something else. That's my girl. A Leo to the nth degree. A Leo 7, in fact, not that. I'll do this one. Jason X, you are a air sign with a fire number. So that means you have a Uranus Mars influence in your chart. It also indicates fiery, branded, very forceful, very independent. And this year is very significant for you because your key numbers are the 9, 4, and 1. On top of that, not only that, the year is the year of the 9. You're born on the 27th. That adds up to a 9. And you're in a 1 personal year, which is one of your 3rd position numbers. This is a year for which you have no excuse, Jason, not to get this party started. I ain't trying to put no pressure on you, brother. I'm just saying you can fool around if you want to, but if you blow this year, you're going to have to wait a whole 9 years more before this opportunity comes again. And why should you do that when you can do it now? And this means take charge of your life, step out on faith, do the things that's in your best interest. It's not about your mother. Not that you don't respect your mother and father or mate, all depending on what stage you are in the game of life. But you got to make sure, I'll put it like this. When you're in a 1 cycle year, if you can't take care of yourself, how are you going to take care of other people? That's the only time I tell people to be a little selfish, to deal with what you are about, not what everybody else is about. Okay. And it tells me a fighter too. You're something else, man. I wouldn't mess with you, Jason. But knowing that if you can channel your energies for the positive and the higher mind, being an Aquarius, and this is the age of Aquarius, you have no excuse not to succeed, my friend. None. You heard it here first. Okay. So anyway, I think I got to get off now. But anyway, let me see. Oh, see. Okay. Jay. Okay. Thank you. Thanks for the donation. You are a fire sign with an earth number, which means you have the Mars-Saturn combination in your chart. Aries is assigned to Mars. 8 is assigned to Saturn. This is how I'm able to reach these conclusions because these planets govern a sign and they govern a number also. So I'm just trying to illustrate the interchangeables, like speaking a second language, English and whatever other language of your choice. But the point is to be able to have that fluid or flexibility to understand people when you meet them. And this is why everybody's not the same. Wear the same clothes, speak the same way, act the same way. And so that means, and so this is in fact, what you call this born on this day? Bob Bob Johnson, that founded BET, and also considered one of the first African American billionaires, from what I understand. So this is so eventually, if you play your cards right, you too may have your millions per se. All righty, and that is it. Now I will do one more, and this is Bo Bless, Mo. I am blessed. Their daughter is born on August the 14th. All right, now see, when you give this birthday, it sounds like you might be either from like the Caribbean or outside of the country, because you're given the date of birth first and the month second. But nonetheless, your daughter is a fire sign with an air number. So she's a Sun Mercury relationship. Sun is assigned to Leo, Mercury is assigned to the number 5. And so that means she's fiery, intelligent, communicative, bright, innovative. She ain't got much patience though. Leo ain't got much patience, and 5 ain't got no much patience. So I know when she's in a row, she's in a row. There is no question. And so what tips are you looking for? I would tell her to go in any area connected with business, business, science, commerce, communications, import, export, the stock exchange, the literary field, the travel industry, to diversify her talents and skills and abilities as much as she can. She's multifaceted, multi-talented, multidimensional, and that should be emphasized. So it may cause her the dilemma when she says, well, what do I want to be? But actually, she can be a little bit of everything. And don't forget, Coca-Cola just don't sell no sodas. They own potato chips. They own peanuts. You know what I'm saying? These corporations got their hands a little bit like BlackRock. BlackRock got their hands in everything, okay? And they are $1 trillion corporation. So I'm just saying. So your daughter has a lot of potential. Just say, by the way, her numbers are the 5, the 1, and the 4, and her best days are always on a Wednesday and a Sunday. Okay, so all the best to your daughter. All right, everybody. I've gotta get off this. I've got to get off this thing. But I do want to thank everybody very, very much. Y'all are very, very nice. Man, I'm very blessed. And I do thank you very much, because y'all don't have to spend this kind of time. Y'all could be doing something else with your time, but y'all do. I'm just trying to make sure I didn't have nobody that I missed. And if I missed you, yes, I read maybe. Good. Let me just go back here for a second. All right, I think I did it. So Nichelle, thank you. Zil, thank you very, very much. Tony, all of these people, Terry, Pamela Terry, she's been a regular. I thank her very much. Motos, thank you very, very much too. And somebody said yes, and she's not patient. I don't know who that was, but anyway. And I got to thank my girl, Empress Rel, who joins us every Wednesday without fail. And by the way, if y'all can do me a favor, I try not to ask for much. And you know I don't ask for money. Can y'all give me a thumbs up so I don't have to hear from Empress Rel and Jazz Aphrodite on Monday? Just do that. I understand it's absolutely free. Find the button somewhere on your computer or your phone, however you watch it, and just do that. But in the meantime, I want everybody to have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. It's cold as Jack all across this country. So for those of you who are blessed to have a nice shelter and warmness, God bless you. But also consider there's things, if you think you got problems, there's some people that make your stuff look like you in heaven. All right. So it's how we all look at our glass of life, half full, half empty. But if you got a place to stay, you can eat a meal, you are truly, truly blessed. When I was in India, there's a part of India where people are sleeping on the cars. I'm telling you, a lot of times we don't know how fortunate we are, and you got to count your blessings. See, good. See, I'd missed this person. Sage Page, January the 19th. So they are a earth sign with a fire number. So that means I'm looking at a Saturn-Sun relationship, because Capricorn rules Saturn. The number 1 is ruled the Sun. Okay, so this combination produces, in fact, John H. Johnson, that founded Johnson's magazine, Johnson's Enterprise, Ebony Magazine, Jet Magazine, all those other things. This was his birthday. This same birthday is Earl Graves, that founded Black Business. So I know you're a go-getter, trust me. And this is also the birthday of Dr. Leonard Jeffries, one of the historians at the City College of New York, here in New York. So anyway, but it tells me you have a Aries rising, you have a Scorpio moon. So if you got an Aries rising, that means you are assertive, especially with a sun number. So I know that you are very, very forceful in your own way. And to some people, you might intimidate them, but you're born to be a leader. And for that, you should make no excuse. And you happen to be, I do believe, in an 11 personal year. Okay. So that means this is your year to have that breakout moment, but to raise your consciousness, but to raise the consciousness of the people that are around you. If they're going to hang around you, you take them to the next level, my friend. You're number one. A winner always comes in number one, not 1.5, 2, 3, 4, but number one. And if you keep that up, and then you're born in the year of the one. Okay. So I'm looking at all of that. So anyway, thank you very, very much. Okay, make sure I just didn't miss anybody else. So I think I got everybody in that way who made a donation. And I do thank you. I do thank each and every one of you from the bottom of my heart. I just want you all to take good care of yourselves, because my attitude is, if you don't, the question is, who does? Okay, who will? Everybody, I will see you on Monday. Have a blessed weekend. As I said, it's cold as duck butt out there. So y'all need to really, when you go out, just protect yourselves. Just do what you need to do. All righty. Okay. Oh, by the way, I forgot to tell you about my sponsors now. Can't leave them out. I want to thank you, Juice, my new person, new sponsor. They have the best juice on the planet, and you can get it absolutely for a small charge. They will send it to you. I ordered mine on Monday and had it in my hands on a Friday. Also, I want to thank Nicholas Brooklyn, who's going into their 51st year, and they're going to have a big health conference on the 8th and the 9th. But this is the one on the 9th. This is going to be the biggie of them. I also want to thank Miss Kimberly with her Manifest on Purpose, a podcast that aired every Wednesday, every Monday without fail. She's now expanded to Astronumerology Reveal, Abundance Thursday, Weekly Wisdom. The girl just stretched out. And this woman too, my moderator for Monday, she stretched out. This is Jazz Aphrodite. She's having a course. And I think when I said serious, I'm not saying she is like overbearing, but I'm talking about she's no joke. When you gotta take one of her courses to know this woman knows what she's talking about. So I ain't talking about serious, she's scared, all that stuff. It's not that kind of party. I'm just saying that when you go there, expect to learn. That's how she rolls. That's her upbringing, and it makes sense. She's also producing a fine line of jewelry products too. Little pendants that you get in your name. You can get them in either gold or you can get them in silver, as well as you can order her books. Okay, Jazz Aphrodite. Go to jazzaphrodite.com/shop to order her book. In fact, I indicated one of her books in the workshop yesterday. For the free newsletter, January is almost over, man. It seemed like it was just a couple of weeks ago when we started this, but we're about to wrap up and going to be preparing for February. But for those who want to hear the monthly forecast, you can with Miss Kimberly and I on her podcast. Go to YouTube, Kimberly, KIMBALEY _ and you'll see that. And also, if you want to know what the year is for each and every month from January all the way through December, this is another podcast we did as well, too. And I do want to let you know that next month, I'll be talking about relationships, family relationships from the womb to the tomb, from our babies to our elders. We all go through different stages of relationships. I'll show you how they're connected, how you can connect those, and how you understand it. Also, how you can find your soulmate too, okay? So there's a lot. I'm very excited about everything. And I'm excited about you joining the Live with Lloyd family. Please, everybody, take care of yourselves, all right? I'm very, very serious. It's kind of like weird out here, all right? So y'all make sure y'all do that. Everybody, have a blessed day. See you on Monday.